Today's local business spotlight is brought to you by the West Bend Area Chamber of Commerce, recognizing businesses in our community. And this morning we have a guest, and Laura is here. Laura, I'm going to have you introduce yourself.
Sure. Thanks for having me. I'm Laura Hillman-Mitchell, and actually I wear two hats. I'm from Laura Mitchell Consulting, which is a guerrilla marketing, social media, and web design agency in downtown West Bend. And I also recently came on board as the CEO of GrandCare Systems, which is a digital health, telehealth, and aging monitoring system to help individuals remain independent at home.
I thought you were telling me a little bit about this. Explain what the GrandCare idea is.
So it centers around a large touchscreen that goes into the home of the individual that's trying to remain independent. And that sort of acts as a source of information and communication with family members. So family can video chat in with the loved one, not having to know anything about technology. So they can video chat, they can send messages and communications and reminders. And they can also send medication prompts. It's time to do this, time to do that. And optional telehealth or activity monitoring sensors can be placed around the home. So they can be alerted if anything seems wrong. So if the front door was left open during the night, they could receive a phone call. Or if the heat or air conditioning's not working, they could be alerted by text or email or phone call. Or if something more of a crisis arrives, if there's some sort of blood pressure reading that's out of range that they need to take immediate attention, they can be notified and help that person to remain more independent at home.
Are we talking like a tablet-sized touch screen? Are we talking bigger? Is it portable?
Usually it's a little bit bigger, so it's more of like an appliance that is always on, always available, always listening to the devices that are around the home, the temperature sensors around the home and the door sensors and whatnot. But it is portable. You can take it off the easel if you'd like to do, there's games on it and trivia and
Sure.
music and videos and all sorts of entertaining things that we take for granted, but somebody who may not have an iPad or may not have a smartphone doesn't get to see every day.
Sure. And the idea behind this is to let people stay in their home as long as possible.
That's right. Because, studies after study shows that people want to stay home. They prefer to remain independent at home for as long as possible and avoid going to the next level of care if possible.
Right. And plus, it's really for a family, nursing homes are expensive.
Yes.
Let's go there. So if you can keep mom at home and make that work, it's not going to drain your pocketbook quite so fast.
Right. And also, you get to stay connected and you also get to empower someone to help themselves. So they can have reminders sent to them. And, the GrandCare system never gets tired of saying the same thing over and over again. So there's no judgment, just like our smartphones. When my smartphone reminds me to get up in the morning, it's much better than if it were a person.
Right. Because you can't get mad at it.
Right.
Yeah. So... and are you doing any kind of, now that GrandCare is new for you, you said, are you doing any kind of kickoff kind of special thing?
Well, we are. We are offering a limited time summer kickoff special for within the greater West Bend area. So we are a global company. We're in 5 countries and we're across the world. But within West Bend, within 15 miles, we are offering a free installation of the GrandCare system for families that want to install it in their loved one's home. And we'll also give you your first 2 months of the subscription for free. Okay.
And I'm guessing you need an internet connection.
Yes. Any internet connection will do.
Okay. All right. And we should let people know where you're located.
Right. So we are located right downtown. So Laura Mitchell Consulting, the guerrilla marketing agency, and GrandCare are both located downtown in the Cryle Camp building, which is the old Ziegler building right in the heart of downtown West Bend, 215 North Main Street, Suite 130. You can call us at 262-338-6147. Email info@grandcare.com or www.grandcare.com.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit more about Laura Mitchell Consulting for a few minutes here, too. Guerrilla marketing. Marketing has changed a lot in the last 15 years.
Right. Right.
Because what used to work, you used to you buy an ad in the paper
Sure.
and you send out a mailer, and that's not the way to reach people anymore, is it?
Well, I think it depends on what demographic you're looking for. So if you're looking for, I think the largest demographic on Facebook are boomers. So if you're looking to reach the boomer demographic, you definitely want to be on Facebook. If you're looking to reach above that, you might want to, put something in the news or in a magazine. But there are various ways to market to individuals, and social media is just one more platform to get to the greater masses. And the good news about social media is that it's very cost effective. So it's not as expensive as placing an ad into a newspaper or a magazine or some sort of print flyers or direct mailers, which can be very, very expensive. So, having a website, all of that is the cost of doing business. And so that's what Laura Mitchell Consulting does is we have a team of 5 of us, and we do web design, we do search engine optimization. So how do you know that you're going to show up in Google? If somebody Googles something, how do you know you're going to show up? Well, that's called SEO, search engine optimization. We also do graphic design, flyers, and basic social media. So we help with put you out on the social media platforms that you should be on, depending on who your demographic is: Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, LinkedIn.
And do you do other promotion as well, other than social media? Do you do radio, newspaper, TV, that kind of stuff?
Correct. We can do any of that kind of stuff. We help people across the board with their marketing and promotional tools and where they should be. And perhaps it's an array of places that they should be. And so we help them brand the message correctly, depending on which demographic they're going after, because a lot of organizations have multiple demographics that they're going after.
Sure. And it's important to really have a coordinated campaign.
Correct.
Not just kind of, scatter shoot and do this, that, and the other thing and see what sticks, like they used to say, right?
Right. So I think there's a little bit of both of those things. So sometimes, especially with social media, you don't know exactly what you're going to get. So you try things and then you pivot if it doesn't work. But at the same time, you have sort of a measured approach. You decide, if you're looking to reach boomers only, you're not going to go on Snapchat, for example. So you need to measure where you're targeting and go to the right places and have a plan. And if that plan doesn't work, then you sort of pivot and you regroup and do something a little different. But yeah, it's a little bit of both.
All right. And again, we're talking with Laura Mitchell from Laura Mitchell Consulting and GrandCare. And tell them one more time how to get in touch with you if they want to find out more.
Sure. If you want to find out more, you can also look at lauramitchellconsulting.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn, Laura Mitchell, or at Laura H. Mitchell on Twitter.
All right. Sounds good. And again, your office is 215 North Main Street, downtown in the old Ziegler building.
That's right. Suite 130.
Laura, thank you much for coming in.
Thanks so much for having me.
If you'd like to learn more about getting your business involved with the West Bend Area Chamber of Commerce, contact Executive Director Craig Farrell. His number is 262-338-2666. And join us next Tuesday at 8:45 for our next local business spotlight right here on WIBD.